Jibreel alayhi salam. That how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who does everything and nothing happens without the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the battle of Badr, only 300 Sahaba, but that Iman had been made, that effort on the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that yaqeen in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that had been made. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help came. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent thousands of angels. And the angels in the battle of Badr, they actively took part in the battle as well. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even the angels He's negating in the Quran. He's saying, I sent the angels just to boost your morale, but it was me who did it. So the one that you killed, it wasn't you who killed them. Allah says that I did this. And saying to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, even the sun that you threw, it wasn't you who threw, it was I who threw. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is negating everything. This is what this kalima la ilaha illallah teaches. It starts off with the negation. That nothing, no one can do anything except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Once a believer has his yaqeen, then he will never be upset, he will never be stressed. Because he will know that everything is happening with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. With this belief, to get this, needs an effort. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, He mentions that we should make effort on our iman. He's asking the believers to believe. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu aminu. All believers believe. So it's important to make effort on our iman. Today we don't understand this. We think we have iman. But there's in the Quran, the signs of iman. These signs are for us to have a look, to judge ourselves against this. In one point, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran that the believers are those that when Allah's name is mentioned, their hearts tremble. And when that ayah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala presented to them, then their iman increases. So today, maybe our heart trembles as well with lots of things of the dunya. Maybe, we get a lot of excitement in our heart with some things. Someone maybe comes and tells us, some good news, maybe you got a new job. How excited that person is. You won this much, you've done this, you passed this test, you passed. How happy a person gets. But when people talk to us about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when the zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when the Imam is reading the Quran, does this really affect our heart? It's the effort we have to make. Sahaba radiallahu ajma'in, they also had iman. We have iman. But there's a difference. We have to reach the level that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala desires. This is the level that the Sahaba radiallahu ajma'in had. That level which allows us to do the Sahaba radiallahu ajma'in, they had that level of iman which stopped them from doing sin. Is my iman stopping from doing sin? Because in hadith also is mentioned to the nearest meaning that the one who says La ilaha illallah with ikhlas, he will enter Jannah. Sahaba radiallahu anhu, they asked the Prophet, what is meant by ikhlas? The Prophet said that which keeps you away from haram. So there's a condition. One is saying La ilaha illallah. Because my La ilaha illallah, is it keeping me away from haram when I go outside? This is matlub, this is desired by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That level of iman, that level of belief, that when I go out, I can gaze my eyes. My eyes don't look up. And I can protect my ears. And I can protect my tongue. If someone comes and says to me that so-and-so is doing this, we can say that no, this is ghiba, stop talking about this, I don't want to hear this. So how about their children? And even reach this level where they will say to their parents that do not feed us even one luqma of haram. We are ready to starve, but we're not ready to take one luqma, one morsel of haram, because we won't be able to tolerate the fire. This is the level of iman they have reached. The analogy we hear is quite often is two people, they have a bank balance. One person says, I have a bank balance, and another person, he says, I also have a bank balance. One person, he has £5 in his bank, and the other one, he has £1 million in his bank. Are they both telling the truth? They have a bank balance? Yes, they both have money in their balance. But the one with £5, he can't maybe even buy a burger or a packet of chips or whatever. The person who has 1 million, he can buy pretty much anything. But they can both claim that they have bank balance. Similarly, when we say we have Iman, the Sahaba had Iman also. Their Sahaba was at that level of that person who has that money, who can do anything. That Iman drove them to the end, they were willing to give their lives for the sake of Deen. They were asking that we should spare a bit of time. A few hours a day, 3, 4, 5, 8 hours a day. And once in a year, we spend a third of our time when we go for 4 months in the path of Allah. And if we're new and we can't do this yet, okay, then we spend maybe a tenth of our time every 40 days. But even this we find it very difficult. A month, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 10 days, a month. We're finding this very difficult. Why? Because we have the attachment of dunya in our hearts. The Sahaba is disconnected from the dunya. The dunya will come at them, and they will shun it. And more will come at them. Their stress was, how do we get rid of this? As Aisha radiallahu anha, 70,000 dirhams comes. How do I get rid of this? Sends her giving all day to the poor people. And at night when it all been given, they used to read nothing, thank Allah, Ya Allah. Next day more would come. So the main thing was, how do we get rid of this? We don't want to have this in our possession. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam at the time, in his last time, he had a couple of coins. So he told us that Aisha radiallahu anha said, those are these away. And then at this time, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he fell unconscious. When he came back into consciousness, the first thing he said, Aisha, did you keep those coins? He said, oh, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, you became ill and I wasn't. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said, oh, what would be tribulation? What would be on that prophet who leaves in dunya with someone? The dua of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was that, Ya Allah, allow me to live amongst the poor, allow me to die amongst the poor, and resurrect amongst the poor. How often do we make this dua? So Sahaba radiallahu anhu, that belief had taken them to that level where they were willing to sacrifice everything for the sake of people. One ayah in the Quran would be narrated. And on this, they would give everything for it. This ayah is revealed at the beginning of the 4th juz of Lantanalu that to the nearest meaning, you will not attain piety until you sacrifice those things which you love. So every Sahabi starts thinking, okay, what thing do I love the most? I need to give this. So one Sahabi, he had a garden, very big garden, which had very sweet water. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam himself used to go and drink this water because it was so sweet water. So he started thinking, he said, to me this is the most beloved thing. So he went to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and he said, oh Nabi of Allah, this garden for Birmingham, this is the most beloved thing to me. So I want to give this because Allah is saying that you cannot attain piety until you give those things to love. I love this, so I want to give this. Garden was not like the garden of today. Garden was a big, that was the main part, and within there maybe they had buildings and stuff like that. Just give away to the sake of that. One Sahabi, the most valued possession he had was his horse. Maybe Zayd radiallahu anhu, or maybe Osama bin Zayd radiallahu anhu, one of the two. He had a horse. This was one of his only possessions. But when he heard this, he went and he said, I want to give this horse for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now one Sahabi, Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, he had a slave there who was from Rome, and he loved her very much. But when this ayah was revealed, he went and he thought, this slave girl I love more than anything. So he set her free and got her married to one of his friends. He never saw her again because she became haram for him to see her. So he never saw her again. When she had a child, the child used to come and he used to smell it from his head. He used to smell so much like her. But he never saw her again. So for the sake of Deen, these were the levels of Hadith Shoaib radiallahu anhu. He sacrificed everything for the sake of Deen. When he's leaving Makkah, people are coming behind him. he's saying to them that you can take all my possessions, but if you fight me, I will fight till the end. So he said, you can take my slave, you can take my house, you can take my possessions. So they went. When he got to Medina, Nabi Sallallahu said, oh, what a fine bargain you've done, Suhail. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed in the Quran ayah about those people who sell themselves, sell everything for the sake of it. Allah revealed ayahs in the Quran for them. This was the level they reached. So my dear respected brothers and elders, this reminder is that it's not just about stories of Sahaba or about Hadith. It's about how we can come to this level. Our aspiration has to always be like Sahaba. We should never ever say that Sahaba was Sahaba. Sahaba were humans. They had needs, they had desires, they had families, they had children. Would they reach this level through sacrifice? They also have to give the sacrifice. Once this iman is strong, or beliefs are strong, then all the other things will come into our life. Like the ways of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Today, the sunnah of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is very lacking in our life, unfortunately. We have to make effort, because in this, the sunnah of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is khair of the dunya and of the akhirah. There's no doubt about this. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was the best person ever to walk this earth. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was the one who gave the rights to the slaves. First thing Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came, he started working on the poor people. He started making friends with the poor people. This was something, uncommon in those days. People would sit with the rich people and people of high, high status, high caliber, high degree. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam made his best friends, Bilal radiallahu anhu, and Salman Farsi radiallahu anhu. He used to do mashwara with Salman Farsi radiallahu anhu when no one else was there. So much importance he gave to it. So these people became very close with slaves, poor people. Then he gave rights to the women. The women had no rights. People used to bury their own daughters. So we don't want them to eat our food. Their own daughters, they used to bury them alive. Nabi Sallallahu taught them the rights of slaves. He wanted to do slaves. He told them, no, slaves also have rights. He told them about animals. He said to them, don't make your camel or your animal a member. Don't sit on it and talk. If you want to ride it, but don't use it as a member. He taught them the rights of the animals also. He taught them the rights of the road also. Don't stand in such a way where you disturb people. Even when you're in the path of Allah, you should stand in a way where you don't disturb people, otherwise you will lose the virtue of going in the path of Allah. So this was the sublime character of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. When there's total darkness, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam through his character brought good and brought khair. And Islam started spreading through the sublime character of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and the Sahaba radiallahu anhu. After Fatih Makkah, when they started living with the non-Muslims, Islam started spreading. Before this, only a few thousand, 10,000 maybe. After Fatih Makkah, more people started coming in droves into the court of Islam. Even the tough-hearted, they started coming, like Washi radiallahu anhu, they started coming into the court of Islam. So my dear respected brothers and elders, it's a reminder that how we can get close to these qualities in the world.